When I was 13, I was very interested in finding ways to get high. I had no care in the world, and maybe I didn't really care about myself. All I cared about was getting high and whatever I can get my hands on. One afternoon I searched ways to get high at home, and one of the very first things that popped up was air duster. Knowing that I could easily get a hold of it, I asked my dad to buy me some for my PC. He brought me a 4-pack. I was excited and couldn't wait. I took a hit, and for 2 seconds I thought to myself, this is bullshit. Then it kicked in. This innocent-looking can of duster suddenly became my best friend and my portal to a surreal world. I kept hitting it. I wanted to get higher and higher and just couldn't stop. I began to hear a thumping sound, almost like a giant phoenix flapping its wings above my house, and with each huff it got faster and louder. My vision became a kaleidoscope of swirling colors. I loved it, and I don't know why. I would continue huffing every day for the next week, and when I was halfway through my last can, I realized I had a problem. I decided to put it in the garbage. I knew it would be best for me. And yet, an hour later, I was back digging in the garbage for it. I found it and began to huff. This is the moment when the addiction won. I finished that final can and began to have cravings. So I asked my dad to take me grocery shopping, but I didn't care about the groceries. I only wanted the duster. I'd wander away from my dad and walk to the electronics section. I would act casual and slip a couple of cans into my hoodie without anyone noticing. It was like a secret mission every time, heart racing, hands shaking, hoping I wouldn't get caught. And this became a routine, a messed up routine. I talked my dad into taking me grocery shopping more often than necessary, just so I could steal some duster and keep the high going. One morning, I decided to huff in the shower. I took the biggest hit I could and blacked out. My mom and brother heard the fall and quickly ran in and witnessed me on the shower floor, seizing with my eyes rolled back into my head and my mouth drooling. When I came to consciousness, I saw utter fear in my mother's eyes. My mom freaked out and took the can. Despite the fact that I almost died, I continued to huff every day. I would get caught a few more times over the course of a few weeks, but eventually I got sneaky and I was able to go undetected for a couple of months. After 2 months without getting caught, I came home from school and my mom told me she cleaned my room and found my stash. 44 empty cans and 2 full cans found in a luggage bag under my bed, each one a testament to my addiction. I'd been addicted and I didn't even realize. The addiction consumed me. She started sending me to a drug treatment program, but I didn't care to stop at any cost. I started huffing at school. I would skip class and I'd huff in the bathroom stalls. I would huff anywhere I could. Eventually, I was able to take bigger hits and trip even harder. Among the hallucinations, a few stood out. A pixelated image on my wall that I would see every single time, and then there was a 90s R&B song. I don't know the name of it. I don't even know if the song exists, yet it played on loop as if it were the soundtrack of my mind. But amidst these surreal experiences, there was one hallucination that resonated profoundly. I found myself viewing fragments of my life through the eyes of my mom. I felt her emotions, her fears, and her love. In those moments, I felt the pain and fear I was causing her. Despite me knowing my addiction was hurting those around me, the darkness of addiction gripped me tighter. The most horrific experience was when I blacked out. However, when I woke up, I wasn't in my room. I found myself suspended between the realms of consciousness and oblivion. Reality had become a shifting mirage. I existed in a state of paradox, where the boundaries between self and the universe blurred into obscurity. I was simultaneously nothing, yet at the same time, I was everything. I was God. I saw colors unknown to man in endless fractal patterns, and yet I saw nothing. Time lost its meaning. I was untethered from this reality completely. I was free from the constraints of time. In that paradoxical state, I experienced a profound existential crisis. Questions about the nature of reality, the purpose of existence, and the meaning of my own life. Was this a glimpse into the fundamental truths of reality, or was it merely a product of my chemically altered mind? That night, I became aware of the fragile nature of human perception. The mind was capable of transcendent experience, and yet vulnerable to distortion. My journey through this surreal landscape left me with a deep sense of dread and inspiration. I recognized the delicate balance between the tangible world we perceive and the infinite unknown that lies beyond our comprehension. The experience, though unsettling, became a catalyst for personal growth, inspiring me to explore the depths of my own consciousness. It felt like an eternity had passed, yet when I woke back into this reality, only 5 minutes had gone by. I don't know how huffing caused me to have psychedelic experiences. That has always been a mystery to me. If anyone else has experienced something similar, please let me know. I quit huffing cold turkey. One day I took a hit, and something changed. I don't know what changed, but from that hit, my addiction just ended. Huffing isn't getting high, it's your brain's panic response to your brain cells dying. Huffing can cause irreversible brain damage and even death. I was recently professionally IQ tested and got a score of 121, and although that is higher than average, I sometimes wonder what my results would have been if I never huffed. What potential did that demon take away from me? If you're a teen desperate to get high, please do anything but huffing. I am now 15, and every time I think about those moments, I get a sense of PTSD. For the people who don't know or never did Duster, let me tell you that you have a chance to literally die every huff you take. The gas cuts the air to your brain. Every time you huff, you don't know what to expect. Maybe you'll just hear ringing and see blurry, or you can hallucinate and have crazy sensations you never felt before and could be hardly described. I am 18. I did a lot of ADHD medications, benzos, opiates, tried ecstasy and mushrooms a couple of times, drank a shit ton of hard liquor and beers, smoke a shit ton of weed as well, and I've done air duster and gasoline a few times. Every time I do duster with my homie, we go through the entire can. When I huff this shit, I always say to myself, okay, last huff. I don't know why, but I can't get myself to do a last one. The high is just too fucking great. I can't stop until the can is empty. I was with two of my friends at my dad's house, and it was the 18th birthday of one of them. Before he came home, I bought a bottle of dust off at the dollar store. My other friend who was with me never tried duster, so I went to my room and grabbed 2 balloons to show him how it's done. It doesn't take much gas in a balloon to get high as fuck, as long as you keep breathing in and out until you're too fucked up to keep doing it. My homie fucking loved it, even for a guy who does a lot of drugs. He's doing coke daily, did a lot of crack, speed, meth, and Adderall in the past. He said that this shit wasn't like anything he's ever tried. The duster high is very strange. You can't compare the high with anything. Maybe gasoline, but not exactly. Duster is far more intense. You hear ringing, your vision is blurred, you can literally feel yourself like there's 3 of you. Everything is in slow motion, and you laugh like a mental patient. Every time you huff, you have the same buzz. There's no tolerance to this shit. Only thing you can do is huff a bigger balloon than the last one you did to get twice as fucked up. It's fucking dangerous. Each time I do duster, there's a point where I don't give a fuck anymore. My friend came and he joined our huff sesh. Maybe 10 minutes after he joined, we were fucked, laughing crazy and tripping, listening to music. That day I kept hitting the bottle like a vape. I do not know how much time went by. I know that the can was 3/4 full when my second homie came in. I kept huffing the can even when I was still tripping, until the can was empty. I was high as fuck for a straight 20 minutes at least. I knew this was bad, but man, this high is not like any other drugs. Even when the can was done, my high wasn't. I was high for another 45 minutes. I was dizzy, had trouble breathing, and was close to nodding out from the lack of oxygen. You can't breathe right when you huff duster. The high is basically lacking oxygen in the head. I really thought I was gonna die. I have asthma, and having trouble breathing because of a can is even worse. I was scared to be stuck with this high. Only thing I could do is sit in front of the house taking some deep breaths and drinking water because I hate puking. My liver or kidney was hurting like hell. I don't know why, but I said to myself that if I didn't die from this shit that day, I'll never do it again. Each time you do duster, for me, I always got this headache and dizziness until I go to sleep. I am scared of brain damage and being fucked forever for a cheap buzz. Please don't do air duster. The high is awesome, but remember, you can fucking die every time you take a hit, even if you do it for the first time. Edit. I just did duster this afternoon. Oh man, let me tell you what happened. This was really intense. I huffed 4 to 5 big hits, and I could feel my head and my body 2 different ways, like they were both slowly spinning. My body felt warm, shaky, and really fucked up, like I could feel my soul in my body, and my head was ringing like crazy. I remember being on the ground just laughing and thinking about this subreddit, like how could I describe it, how fucked up it was. Then, a few times after, I did a huge fucking balloon, and I was watching Trailer Park Boys, and every sentence I was listening to was in triple. On top of that, the ringing in my ears was even worse. My whole vision was shaking and blurry. My body felt like it was in slow motion with the blurred outline when I tried to move my hand. It felt fucked, but at this moment I was just laughing and thinking to myself that duster is literally heroin or something. My homie nodded out and was in his head, doing nothing, looking at the TV without any emotions. I had the sensation that I was literally in my head seeing all of this nonsense and telling myself that huffing duster ain't right. Maybe 5 minutes went by and we were listening to music, Phoenix Flexin' to be exact. Both did a huge balloon and enjoyed the songs. My homie who was here with us told me he saw the rapper in 3D, more like cinema 3D, when you see something that just sticks out of the screen. He huffed the fuck out of the can and nodded out again, looking twice as fucked up as he was a few minutes ago. When he finally came back to reality, he told me he was nodding out back and forth. He told me every time he nodded back, he was talking to himself, sitting on the floor, and he told himself that he was high as fuck. I was watching him the whole time and he wasn't moving for shit, just passed out. I have no fucking clue what happened in his head at that point. Don't be like my homie, please.